Welcome to BuzzBait, your wave of something new each week. I'm your host, Laura, and with me are my co-hosts, Collin and Megan. And today we are talking about America's top turn-ons and turn-offs.
It does have to do with fucking, Laura. You're
It
right.
does have to do with fucking.
I
I
mean,
hope
you weren't
stumbling over
wrong.
your words is a
We are
big
talking about
turn-on.
America's tops. Tops, bottoms, switches.
You know,
Hell yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Well, as we were leading up into this, before we started recording, you had asked if I wanted to tell you the story that I mentioned the other day, and I thought that given the topic, it tied in well into this. But I was talking about we had initially started talking about concerts and people being creeps at concerts, and how I have a track record of maybe doing things that most women would put in the absolutely do not do for fear of your own safety kind of situation. But I'm a dumb bitch who doesn't think before they act. But specifically, I traveled a couple of times outside of the country and dealt with some weird people. But the last time I went to Paris, I went with a friend and we were staying at a hostel. We had it was me and her, and she's gorgeous. You know me. I'm the fucking what do they say? Like you got to get past the fridge to get to the snacks. I am the fridge. That's me. They're like, you're the fridge. The snacks are behind you. Yep, that's fucking me. I'm the fridge door. But she's absolutely gorgeous, and we at the hostel we had met these two other girls. They were from England. We were staying in Paris at the time, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they were also very beautiful women. We went downstairs. We were celebrating. I think it was one of theirs, like their birthday weekend. That's why they had gone to Paris and stuff. So we were drinking, and my friend wanted to go to like a club. Like the girls wanted to go dancing and like have like a party night. Right? There's like a bar at the hostel. We had drank down there. We met up with some guys that were down there. I don't think they were bad looking guys. They were nice enough guys. They weren't creepy. They weren't weird. They had a good sense of humor, had some good conversations. And so when we were like, let's go to a club, the guys were coming right along with us. And I was like, good for these dudes. These are really gorgeous women. And if the women are letting you come with them to the club, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign, in my opinion. So we all went to this club. And in line there, we met another couple. They were also from the UK. It was a man and a woman, very, very nice people. And we go into the club and we start drinking, and there's like a slide in the club, and the music's awesome, and we're getting pictures.
Slide?
There's a slide in the club from the
That's
second floor to
awesome.
the first floor.
On one hand, that sounds rad as hell. On the other hand, I'd be so worried that people are like throwing up and pissing in it.
Oh, that's true.
Thankfully, this was like a nice, like clean club. Like it wasn't like, I don't know if you've ever been to Trex, but like I didn't feel like if the lights came on, I would feel grossed out being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like nothing against Trex, like it's great. Go see a drag show. But also, I feel like if I was in that place with the lights on, I would be like, everything's sticky. Ew. You know what I mean? Like it gives that vibe a lot of the times. At least when there's a group of people in there, it feels like everything you touch is going to be sticky because people are spilling drinks because they're messy as fuck. Anyways, this was not the vibe. It was really nice. It was really clean. It was a fun time. We were having a lot of fun. The girls, as drunk girls do, we gotta pay.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the girls go off, and now even when I'm drunk, I'm like the like vigilant friend. Like if I come here with you girls, you're not leaving the line of sight. People are fucking weird. You could go off and like hang out with dudes, but I'm gonna know that you're safe. You know what I mean? I don't care how fucked up I am. I'm worried about the safety of the women that I'm hanging out with. You know what I mean? So they like go off to the bathroom, like we all go as like a group, as the girls do. And the way that the bathrooms were set up, they have like these kind of like an open area where like the sinks and stuff were, and then they kind of like split off and then they go into like the stall area. But it was very open. I don't think there was doors, probably for like drug reasons and shit like that. They wanted to be able to get access. They didn't want anybody to like hole up in those
shooting
fucking
up.
places. it didn't seem like a shooting up thing. It's probably more like, if someone gets super drunk and is sitting against this fucking door, we're not gonna be able to get in. So like, let's leave it.
Also fair.
But what's nice is like all the stalls are so private in Europe. They're not like in the US where you've got like 3 feet of space to the ground.
Yeah, and an inch between the fucking cracks.
Yeah, you could just see into shit.
Ugh.
So like, thankfully, like it wasn't like that. So this is all from my recollection of things. But I guess when the girls, like, I was nearby the bathrooms, and I looked back to where the other, because like 2 of the girls went into the bathroom. And, like, one was my friend, and one was one of the girls from the UK. And then the 2 of the other girls were still like dancing with some of the guys and stuff. So like I'm split attention, you know, and I'm drinking and I'm having a good time, you know, not like fucking prairie dog, like full alert. But I guess because of the way that the bathrooms are set up, a guy had tried to follow like and go into the girls' restroom, and like they came out and they were like, this dude was super fucking weird. He was like trying to follow us. I don't know what's going on with him. You know, it's hard because most of us are speaking English and we are in France, we're in Paris. Like, there could be communication barriers, but I immediately pegged this dude as being fucking out of his mind. He is gone, right?
Okay.
And he's not like a huge dude, thankfully. He's probably a little bit shorter than me, and I'm like just right around 5'8", you know, 5'7 3/4", 5'8". She's like a little bit shorter than me, and he's like a thinner dude. He's not necessarily a bad looking guy, but he's just fucking high as a fucking kite, and he's like following these girls around. And I immediately am like, no, they are not interested. Like, get the fuck away from them. Do not try to be like pressing up against them. They do not want to dance with you. They do not want you following them. And he's just like not there. Like, you can just tell he's not there. And he's not like aggressive, but he's also not listening. He's just like
just doing his own thing.
He's like focused in on these women.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Guess what? No is pretty clear no matter what language.
No matter
you're
the
speaking.
language.
Shaking my head, no, go away. And he's just like, just fucking 1,000-mile fucking stare, just trying to like look at the women. And I'm just like, and so I start like pushing him away. And only one of the guys, it was the guy who's with his girlfriend that we met in line at the club. Only one of the guys was like even like keyed into this shit. The other guys were like, oh, what's going on? And like talking and like behind with the women. And so I'm like pushing the guy away. And then I am looking for like a bouncer, right? And I see the biggest fucking dude. And I look over at him and I'm like, and he comes over and I'm like, you see this guy right here? And he's like wearing stripes and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, you know, first I asked if he spoke English because again, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this guy right here tried to follow them into the bathroom, won't leave them alone. And big dude just comes up and he's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, phew, okay, that was great. And guess what? Those guys that were back there talking to the ladies, not doing shit about this fucking creep trying to follow them around all night and dance up on their asses and follow them into the fucking bathroom. They didn't get anywhere with those girls. They didn't get anywhere with those women. And I have and I feel like, and like, again, not to promote toxic masculinity where like, you've got to be this alpha dude fucking defending the women. But like, both the dudes were bigger than this guy.
If they both stepped taller. In,
right. Like, even any kind of thing of like, oh, well, let me stand between you and this guy. Like, even that, like, you don't have to be pushing up on him like I'm pushing up on him. The only reason why I'm pushing up on him is because he's trying to walk through me. He's probably not going to try and walk through a man. He doesn't, you know what I mean? So I feel like even if they like were like, oh, well, let's stand between this guy and these women, I feel like the women would be like, whew, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. Women love that shit.
Would have really impressed him when I leaned over and bit the guy's fucking ear off.
Mike Tyson?
I mean, maybe it would have, you know. I don't know how masculine, you know, like how aggressive they want their dudes.
Be like, hey, is this guy bothering you? And they'd be like, yeah, he's kind of creeping us out. And I just like lean in and they're like, oh my god, are you about to kiss him? And I'm just like And then he like collapses on the ground screaming in pain, and I'm just like, I don't know what happened, bouncer. His ear just fell off into my mouth and he started bleeding everywhere.
I think the women would be scared. I
I
think you would scare the hoes.
I think you would also scare the women, but you know what? But then again, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, any kind of like showing that ability to like, hey, I'm completely on your side, like I'm here to help and protect you in any way that I can. I feel like that is in general like a fucking turn on. Like people want, like, I'm a really fucking masculine, like fucking like it doesn't, I don't really look like the type of person that's down to shove a guy in a club. You know what I mean? I seem like when most interactions with me, I would think that most people are like, Megan's kind of maybe like a little bitch. I don't know. I feel like I give like a little bitch vibe. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just me. That's just me. I don't know if that's accurate, but I feel like most people don't look at me and go like, "Oh, you're like an aggressive person," or like you're willing to be like an aggressive, like you're gonna fucking fight somebody. You know what I mean? I feel like for the most part, people won't look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, Megan's a fucking fighter."
Yeah, she
like,
throws hands.
Exactly. Nobody looks at me and is like, Megan's gonna beat some ass. You know what I mean? It's just not the vibe that I give off, because for the most part, that's not me. But there are these specific situations where I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna kick some ass and like not give a fuck. But it's very like, it's specific to situations. I'm not like a hot-headed, aggressive person, but like in these situations,
I can agree that is a turn on.
Would it be a turn on though if the guy that swooped in to protect you bit the other man and caused physical permanent damage to his body?
Listen, I'm a lesbian, but that bouncer handling that situation, I was like, he's a hottie. He's the one.
Yeah.
Big ass bouncer. I was like, I'm a lesbian. I don't want to fuck this man, but also he handled that situation.
He's looking a little good.
He handled that situation.
It's just a funny idea where it's like a normal person would just like take the guy and drag him outside, but what if I just brutally maim him in front of everybody?
Well, in this article that we're going to be discussing, they do say that nibbling is, is a turn on. So, I mean, everybody's definition is different.
You know what? That would be actually a very interesting thing, because here's the thing. What if you didn't bite him? You just nibbled on him, and then suddenly he's focused on you. He's just confused. He's like, oh shit, I thought I was after these women, but this man be sucking me in the way. He gave me a little...
Suddenly he's trying to go into the men's room.
Yeah, suddenly he's trying to talk to you. I see your clown ear situation. You look very unhappy with the way that it's falling over your face. Or clown ear, Mickey Mouse ear. There we go.
That's a thumbnail.
What? Just me sitting here?
Disney, not quite the happiest place on earth. But yeah, leading into that, I just thought that it would definitely, I feel like it tied into it, because I was like, those men could have at least gotten a little smoochy action. They were not bad looking guys. They were nice enough guys. The girls were hella drunk.
I forgot about my cup. It just looks like he's staring in shock at this story.
He's like, oh damn.
I thought you were just holding up the one.
Yeah, that you were like, give me a minute. Like 1 minute.
What's up, brother?
The one.
But I just thought that it tied in well with the topics of like turn-ons and turns-off, because I was like, I've never liked a man less than seeing a man who won't stand up for a woman getting fucked with by a man.
Absolutely.
Disgusting.
And I think that's for, honestly, I would say every woman. Like,
well, not even be for, like, I mean, probably for other men too. Think about it. Like, if you're like a dude and you see another dude defend you, and you're like, even if like you're kind of gay or you're bisexual, and you see a dude kind of like
kind of gay.
listen. You
kiss the homies goodnight.
It's a spectrum. You know. I don't want to just say gay men. I want to say like the kind of gay men, bisexual men, gay men. I think anybody who would be any kind of like attracted to a man, and a man stands up for them, they're probably like, ooh, okay, actually, like, there's gotta be a little bit of that, right? Where it's like, damn, he's got my, even if it's like very like a masculine response, it's like, bro's got my back, we're in this together. Like that immediate like feeling of like bond and connection.
Right.
It's something, you know.
Well, to hop into the article here, it says that this study, conducted by sex toy retailer EdenFantasies.com, sought to uncover Americans' biggest turn-ons and turn-offs. And they didn't just talk about like what were a couple of the higher ranking stuff with percentages, but we're gonna just kind of dive right into it a little bit. Now I will say that this article, they do point out some things that when I was reading I was like, oh, that's, I guess I wasn't like expecting that. So for the article, it says, for instance, it appears that men get a lot more out of going down on their partner than women, with 76% of men reporting that going down on their partner is a turn on for them, compared to only 56% of women.
I feel like part of that is connected to the fact that when you're eating a woman out, she looks very cute, and it's beautiful to see how she's reacting. When you're blowing a dude and you look up at him, that's a fucking nightmare. That's a creature. That is a beast. As somebody who's been on both sides of this coin, going down on a woman is a far more pleasant looking experience.
I can only imagine, because Meg and I are lesbians, so I have zero experience with men at all.
They make the joke that
I have some experience with dudes, didn't like it.
They've made the joke that like a man has two brains, and I can assure you, when you've got the other one in your mouth, the faces he makes, he basically is just looking like his ancestors just discovered fire. It's not a good look.
Interesting.
It's interesting insight from a guy who's gone down on women and men.
I will say that, and I've said this before, I will agree, going down on a woman, looking up, wow, what a fucking sight. If she has a tattoo on her fucking, like, right under here, like, right under her chin or, like, neck, that turns me off, because I don't want to be looking at a fucking moth while I'm eating some cooch, bro. Like, that, or whatever the fuck you got going on down here, not for me. You do you, but it ain't for me.
That's fair.
Following that statistic, though, it says, in fact, nearly 1 in 4, or 23% of women that took this study, reported that going down on their partner was a turn off. And if what you say is true, Collin, which I am gonna just agree because I can't disagree, then I'm surprised it's not more.
I don't know why, but hearing that statistic just reminded me of the DJ Khaled thing, where he's just like, I don't go down on women.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm the king. I don't need to go down on a woman. She needs to go down on me.
So the fact that like some of these women were like, going down on my partner as a turn off, I was like in my head, I was like, DJ Khaled ass response.
That shit's crazy. How?
I won't. I'm not into like the eating ass thing, but like if you're not getting down there and feeling your way around with your mouth, then
the thing that gets me about that is, not to sound like a crazed feminist here, but he said that and still has a career. But if a woman was like, I don't suck dick at all, career ending. You want to tell me I'm wrong?
You're not, and I know you're not, because you know what started a career was the Hawk Tua girl, and if just that could fucking launch a fucking career,
guys, when are we making the katana?
The opposite's gonna kill it.
When are we making our katana fish cryptocurrency?
Meme coin.
Right after the card game comes out.
If you buy the card game, it comes with a crypto.
Yeah, it comes with a code for 1 katana fish coin.
Yep, makes sense.
There you go.
So 1 in 4
Hop in,
women got
join our
turned
Kickstarter
off.
today.
Was it
We
turned off at
promise we
like
won't
the
cancel it.
thought, or was it like turned off if like their partner requested that like the women give them a blowy, or does the article not specify?
It just says that going down.
Okay.
It doesn't really get too specific, but we can hop right into where you said you're not quite into eating eating ass. You're not quite into that. Um, Anal sex was another polarizing act, with over half of men, 52%, calling it a turn on, compared to only 19% of women, and an incredible 57% of women actually consider it a complete turn off.
Again, as somebody who's been on both sides, I can fully
Really appreciate your insight here.
I can fully understand that like the women who are having a wiener in their butt, not a huge fan, because like that shit is tight as hell. And then on the other side, it feels good to have that like restriction, but it doesn't feel good to have it put in. It's not great.
Right, and
Especially if
unlike
you're with one of those
men,
weirdos who's like, I've got like a 6-inch and my dick is like fucking it's girthy. Like, okay, great. Put it anywhere else. It's not going
well,
in my
and
ass.
and the
Chuckle
difference
fuck.
between like a woman experiencing anal and a man experiencing anal is that they don't have a prostate, and right, that's the part that gets stimulated that men enjoy
Oh yeah,
sexually.
that's also
Yeah,
true. I didn't
So
even think
that's why
about that,
pegging is a big thing.
dude.
yeah,
If anybody's listening,
Dude!
if anybody's listening, I need me a baddie to peg
Colin's looking
me.
to get pegged. Katana Fish community, let's get together and
Mm.
find Colin.
Oh, okay. I was like,
The-
out here talking about
Let's
kinks.
get together and we're gonna run a train on Colin. Meet us in Orlando, Florida.
I was about to say, like, I don't know. We want to do a call to action that everybody needs to come over to my house and fuck me.
No, I'll rent like a hotel room or something for you.
Oh,
And then
that's huge.
I'll just give everybody the key card or like code and be like, meet at this door. No load refused. Come on in.
What is this fucking? What's her name? Fucking the lady that just got banned from OnlyFans. Is that what you're gonna
Oh,
turn me
Bonnie
into?
Blue?
Yeah, is that what you're gonna turn me into?
If that's what gets us money.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
yeah.
I'll do my part for the team. Whatever it takes to
That's fair.
whatever it takes to buy the hype house. I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
Hell yeah, man.
But in exchange for this, I want you to know that I'm buying a night vision camera, and I'll just bang on your guys' doors at 1 a.m. and I'll be like, "It's time to record a video," and you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That's fine. That's fine. If that's the payoff, that's fine. I'm
Hell
okay.
yeah.
And it'll just be like that picture that I sent you, where it was like, how tight, and it's just like loose. Shit falls out.
That's why I started laughing when you were like, because that shit's tight. And when you were like, when you sent that picture, it was like, how tight? Loose. Shit just falls out.
It's like, how tight? Loose. Shit just falls out. No, like, how tight are we? Oh, we good.
We good?
And then he just sends a question mark back, like,
But yeah, what are some other things on the list? So another polarizing thing where you were like, yeah, women don't like that shit.
is there one that's the
Unsurprising.
opposite, where like women love something but men are like, ew? Or is it all just like men are like, yeah, that's fucking great, and women are like, that's don't like that?
We'll just hop right into the top 5 turn-ons for men
Okay.
and top 5 turn-ons for women. We'll just hop right into that. So starting with men, number 1, my partner telling me I like that at 78%.
That's solid.
Which I guess I'm a man.
Right.
Like if that
I've always, so I'm not going to obviously like say any of their names, but like I've always had a thing with some of my exes where there was one who was very much like didn't really say anything to, and it was just like sex was fine, but like it was just kind of like I need to know if you're enjoying this so that I know if this is something I should keep doing or if we should try something else.
Yeah.
And then I had another partner who was very vocal, and I was like, this might be the best sex that I've ever had. Because it's basically just like real, like just quickly being able to shift gears. Like they don't like what I'm doing, we'll switch to something else, or they really like this, and we'll keep going.
Right, like a that feels good,
Right.
you know, right
Feedback.
there, something like that. Any kind of feedback, whew, yeah, that's it. We just discussed this, but number 2, my partner going down on me, 78%. This is like a three-way
Boobs like that,
tie
of course.
for number 3, undressing my partner, also at 78%.
That can be pretty fun, I won't lie.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree, but maybe
I wouldn't say it's like a top 3 turn on for me, but like it's a fun little activity.
that, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I
Yeah.
don't know if it would be a number 3, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's alright.
As long as they're not like wearing fucking skinny jeans that we have to like bust out power tools to get off.
Leather pants.
Oh god.
Number 4.
What's that material? Like the latex bodysuits.
Oh, the
that
latex.
also would be a nightmare.
I couldn't imagine, especially like on a hot day.
Oh,
Might as well
God.
just keep your clothes on, girl. Number 4, going down on my partner at 76%. Again, we just talked about that.
Yeah, it's solid.
This was one that kind of surprised me, I guess, because it's, I don't know. But number 5, neck kisses at 76% for men.
That shit do be hot. I can't lie.
Like-
That
Like
shit
getting their neck kissed.
That shit gets me riled up. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you.
Keep it a bean.
I got so
the bean.
fun little thing that I just thought of. If I wasn't like part of the team, would you guys have like brought in a male guest, or would you just both have been talking about this yourselves?
I would have tried to find a male guest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would make sense to try and find a
Like
dude
not to toot my own horn, but I am the perfect person for this, being somebody who has slept with both men and women.
You are.
So I was sitting here and I was like, what would you guys have done if I wasn't like on the team, or like if I really couldn't make it today?
I would have gone out on the street and been like, "Have you fucked before?
Have you fucked both men
You
and
want to
women,
come
or
on
one
the
or the other?
cast?"
calling all bisexual men to be a guest so we can talk about this with some
But
other side of feedback.
neck kisses being 5 for men did surprise me, because I'm speaking from lesbian experience only. I feel like that is a more feminine thing.
Really?
See, so here's the thing. Not only am I pansexual, so I've had sex with everybody across the spectrum, I'm also a switch, which means the things that I enjoy are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I talk to people, they're like, "Oh, like, what's your number one turn on?" I was like, hand to God, if you want to just like immediately just open the door to my heart, sit on the couch, make yourself at home, neck kisses are great and all, but if you look me in the eyes and we have that connection moment and you call me a good boy, it's lights out. I'll kill somebody if you
What if
point
they
at
do
them on the
both?
street. Then I'll probably
combo?
I'll probably just bust a fat nut right in the street.
Just right there.
Just be like, "Oh my god, are you a virgin?" I was like, "No, I've actually had sex a lot, but like you just wombo combo, I couldn't handle it."
The wombo combo.
Can we stop at Target on the way home? I gotta get some new boxers and jeans.
the wombo combo.
But yeah, so like there's that, and then the other thing I have is like I love when girls are just like, "Choke me." I'm like, "I got you, homie. I studied this. I looked at the diagrams. I understand."
Hell yeah.
Fun fact,
Gotta do that
for
research, make it
anybody listening to this, if you don't know, there's a very specific way you have to sexually choke somebody out, or you're going to hurt them.
Or you're going to
Yeah,
like
you
could kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do any compression on like the trachea.
Yeah,
the
there's
throat,
2
because
spots,
it's not about
and that's
the
the
sides.
other thing that like it's partly why I've had, I think, such good luck with partners, is because fucking hand is
big ol'
huge.
hand.
Big old hands.
And so yeah, there's 2 little points that you just want to press a little bit, and you're golden. If you put any forward pressure on the front of their neck, you're doing it wrong. And unless your partner is into like next level stuff, like you gotta relax, you gotta chill.
Yeah. No.
We're gonna hop into top 5 turn-ons for women,
This is
And
my moment, by the way, where Meg was just like, you guys didn't share very cringy stories. I'm out here just throwing it all out on the table.
and we appreciate you so much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Really the all-star of this episode.
Hell yeah.
Top 5 turn-ons for women. Again, this is where I was like, I see neck kisses as a much more feminine thing.
Right.
Number 1 for women, neck kisses at 82%.
It's fun for everybody.
Yeah.
It is fun for everybody. It's also, I believe, I mean, as we were just kind of talking, it is a an area that
What are they called? Erogenous
people-
zones?
erogenous. Yeah.
erogenous, yeah.
I was trying to think of the word for it because I'm like, I fucking don't remember, and I hope when I say it, somebody brings it
I
up.
got you.
And I feel like it's one of those like few erogenous zones because like there's like the clear ones that are like hypersexual areas, but like there are a few that are like, oh well, this is thought of less sexually because like we don't have to cover our necks and stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like where it's like out in the open.
Because I think like
versus-
elbows are also one or something, or like the inside here.
Well,
Because
yeah.
it's like your veins.
I was
are
thinking
there,
like the
sensitive.
elbow. I was like, I don't.
Oh,
I
no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no, I'm sorry.
thought you were talking about like weenus. I was like,
Let me fucking
I
lick
was like-
that
I
shit.
I was like, damn. Let me hit up the next girl I match with on Bumble and be like, hey, you want to like fondle my
wanna
weenus
lick
and
my
see if it does
elbow?
anything for me?
Suck my weenus. Also penis, please. I actually came across a Twitter account. Somebody said something on Twitter about like some of these hoes are too freaky or whatever. And I was just looking at the comments because I love looking at Twitter comments. I think they're the funniest thing sometimes. And this guy was like, these hoes aren't freaky enough for me. I'm trying to lick elbows. And then every comment was like, what the fuck are you saying? And he's like, you never licked an elbow before? It's like, you haven't had your elbows licked, bro? And it was just killing me. I just thought it was so fucking funny.
Crazy.
Number 2 turn on for women. My partner telling me I like that. 74%.
I guess
Jesus Christ, I
just
gotta keep
everybody
coughing.
likes feedback.
Everybody likes feedback.
It's like when you
Number
get- it's
3.
like when you
It's
get a
like,
gold
but it's like
noodle
reaffirming
sticker.
though. Exactly, it's like reaffirming that they're doing something right, that they're good at it. It hits that dopamine sensor of like, oh,
It's like,
I'm doing
damn,
good.
babe, the way you gave
Yeah,
me that
yeah.
sloppy, you get 2 good noodle stickers. Good fucking
2 gold
job.
stars. Number 3, my partner undressing me at 68%.
So for the men, it was undressing their partner, and for the women, it's specifically getting. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing the teamwork effect on that one.
Number 4, my partner going down on me at 67%. And number 5, again, surprised me. This is the one that surprised me because, again, as a lesbian, when I have talked to women or even like other men about sexual encounters or whatever, I feel like a lot of men don't. Again, this could tie back to our weight episode about like a lot of men aren't comfortable in their bodies. And also, again, when I talk to even just straight women, men's bodies aren't exactly seen as attractive. So sorry to the men listening to this.
It's true. Unless you're like
So-
fucking cut and chiseled out of a statue, most men just kind of look at their body like, well, I'm alive.
So number 5 for women being undressing my partner at 63% did kind of take me for a shock.
Mm.
Again, this is just something that I have noticed in my experience of talking to other people who have had that experience with the other sex, because I don't fucking have that experience. I'm like, lady, let's fucking take all our clothes off right now. I'm trying to see those titties.
But
I'm trying to
hold
see
on,
that ass.
This is just men and women. This is not heterosexual men and women, right? So that group of women, it could have been lesbian heavy.
It could be. It never specifically said if it was.
Can you imagine like a detailed breakdown? Like you have to list your sexuality, you have to list like whether you're a top, a bottom, a switch, you have to list like all this stuff, and then they just like get a giant like 30-page list of just charts.
I would
of
like to see it.
everything.
Like, actually,
Yeah.
I would like to pour through that.
I would actually enjoy reading through that.
I think
Genuinely.
it'd be interesting.
I do think. I
it
also
gives some
think that'd
interesting
be
insights.
interesting.
I mean, like you said, both of the top 5 things, like in the top 5 things, there were things that surprised
They like,
you, you know.
yeah, they like meshed kind of well together too.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be interesting to see other stuff, and you know, because you don't know everything, so it'd be interesting to be like, oh, okay.
To get into the top 20, this is just gender neutral. This one doesn't have any percentages. I kind of wish it did because I'd be really curious to see what it is. So the top 5 are literally exactly what we just discussed. 1, neck kisses. 2, my partner telling me I like that. 3, my partner undressing me. 4, my partner going down on me. 5, undressing my partner. Now we're gonna get into the more interesting stuff. So 6, nibbling my ear. I gotta agree. If you're sloppy on my fucking ear, oof. That's good. It's good shit. Number 7, lingerie.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I love wearing lingerie.
Makes sense.
They don't really make
Aren't you trying to dress up like a maid?
Yeah, dude, I'd put on a maid outfit for sure. I like when I was like as like a almost like a bit, I guess. I was like looking for like a sexy maid outfit, and I was like, and then I put for men, and I was like, that's you got rid of the sexy part because my only option to be a sexy maid is to just like have cufflinks and my fucking dong dangling in the wind.
Look like a butler.
I was like, I want to be like I want to be the hot maid who's got like, you know, like a really deep revealing opening in my uniform.
And like a short skirt.
Yeah, short skirt, nice little duster, little headband. But no, for men, you just get a maid outfit and you could take it off when you're ready to go to fucking Pound Town.
Yeah. Number 8, eye contact during sex.
Damn, that's so unfortunate for me.
I mean, you can still look. It's not like you're blind.
Yeah, when they're just like, ooh, I want you to look at me, and it's like, I have this eye for looking at you, and then I have this one for checking everything else out.
One eye watching the door, one eye looking at you. Don't worry, we're good.
Oh, terrific.
Also, these people are clearly neurotypical. Can you imagine having an autistic partner and being like, eye contact?
Who was it on fucking? There was somebody that
right out of the mood.
There was somebody that went on like Kill Tony, and it just goes, "Are you making eye contact with girls while you eat them out?" And he goes, "Yeah," and she goes, "That's the worst fucking thing I've ever heard."
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Think about it. Okay, I'm not diagnosed as autistic, but the amount of time that I spend in a conversation, like the brain power that I spend about like, am I making too much or too little eye contact, is significant. So I can't imagine trying to focus on having sex and be
it was only
how much eye
recently that
contact?
I learned that the reason that's an issue is because us neurodivergent people heard make eye contact as kids, and we thought that meant stare into somebody's soul. What you're actually supposed to do is just look in their direction for the duration of the conversation and not just constantly be like looking at everything else around you. But all of us kids whose brains aren't quite wired correctly, we were like, eye contact, got it, and just retina to retina.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, it's really not supposed to be that. And so then you do that, and then you realize this is too much because they looked away, and then you're like, okay, now I gotta figure out when to look away properly because you have to make some eye contact, but not too much. And finding that balance and recognizing that as a human being is rough, but unfortunate. It's really unfortunate for me.
If you're autistic and you're fucking, can you leave a comment to say if you are making eye contact? Are you making a mental note
I'm gonna reach
to
out.
make eye contact?
If you're autistic and you're fucking, please reach out to me because it's so hard to try and date neurotypical people. It's so hard. They don't understand.
You know what though is like I do think that my ideal partner is probably going to have like autism
That was
personally.
another thing. Like I got my friend like as a joke sent me a little meme, and like I messaged him back. I was like, "Hey, why don't you lower your fucking voice when you talk to me?" Because the caption said autistic men love dominant women because they tell you what they want and what they think. And I was like, "Hey, you don't need to fucking bring that energy up to me, you fucking jackass."
Shush.
Like, you better lower your motherfucking tone when you're talking to me.
Number 10, going down on my partner again. We discussed that. Number 11, being teased.
For who? Which side is this?
This is just gender neutral.
Okay.
This is just all. This is just an all top 20.
Okay.
And I gotta agree.
I was just saying, like,
First sound that you made though, Laura. Hold on.
I've been handcuffed before, and it's a lot of fun to just let somebody kind of have at you. Do as you will.
Well, a little bit. Number 12, again, one that shocked me: sex toys.
I love using my toy. I fucking paid money for them. I might as well use them.
But this is like turn-ons in the bedroom.
Mm.
I, again, in the talks that I have had with straight men,
And you said this doesn't have percentages?
this one doesn't.
Okay,
No,
because
that
that was the thing. Like, I've
20.
definitely had conversations with people where like some guys are like, it feels emasculating that she needs to bring toys in the bedroom, and I've had other guys be like, fuck yeah, I love playing with toys.
Right, exactly.
Well, I think that really what it comes down to is like, especially with like the percentage of guys who are like turned on by going down on women and stuff. I think it's probably a similar percentage of those guys that are the ones that are like, hey, I don't give a fuck if we're bringing in toys because it's more about giving pleasure to your partner. I think it is what the turn on is. Like, oh, I want to make my partner feel as good as possible, and
It's
that is
kind
the
of like
turn
you.
on.
It's kind of like you said earlier, like hearing that I like that, or like that keep
Mhm.
going. You
Yeah.
know, like if sex toys is what brings that dopamine rush, then it's like, well, you might like sex toys because that's what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13. That's what we're on, right? These
think,
ones aren't numbered; they're just fucking dotted. I have to keep track in my head.
I think it's 13.
Dirty talk in English specifically is what it says.
Okay.
I was like, okay, well, I was like, oh, so Spanish or like French or something might show up on this list. No. Just dirty talk in English.
I've never really had a partner that like was into dirty talk. So like I've never got to experience it on my end.
I am the partner that will do it, and every time it's been a hit, I gotta say. But I think it kind of goes into, I mean, that like kind in that kind of like I like that sort of thing too. Yeah, it just says dirty talk in English. Uh-oh, the website crashed.
Uh-oh. While you're getting that
we're back.
Oh, never mind.
I thought you were talking about like Riverside. I was like, what?
No, the website on my phone. Number 14, partner doing a strip tease. I can't confirm or deny.
Definitely.
I actually I've had like 2 lap dances, and one really fucking sucked, and the other one was just okay. So
It's
I don't
one
know
of
if
those
I would
things
like
where
a
like
striptease.
if you're into it, like I'm sure it's great, but it's one of those things where it's like let's just start.
Move on.
Let's just get this ball rolling. Like
yeah, can we just get to it? I don't got the time.
Like either take your clothes off or let me do it with my teeth. We got to figure something out here though.
I'll just rip. Collin, this one's for you.
Huge.
Number 15?
Yep, I think
being
so.
Dominated.
Hell yeah. Get you a bad bitch to pop on a strap and fuck you in the ass, boys.
Again, reach out to Katana Fish. We'll meet in Orlando. I'll give you the hotel number, the address, and no loads refused, baby.
Outstanding.
Number 16, partner being rough. I'm not for me. I like to be treated like a gentle little flower.
I like both. It, like, for me, most of it comes down to like what do I want from like this specific person? Because there are some people I look at and I'm like, yeah, like you could toss me around a little bit, I wouldn't mind it. And there's other people where it's like, if you try to raise your voice to me, I will remind you that I will remind you that in this instance I will be playing the top of this relationship.
I will be playing the role of top.
Because it was one of my exes where she was just like, oh, what if I try and be a little, and I looked her dead in the eyes and I was like, you couldn't. And she just goes, what do you mean?
You couldn't?
She was like, what do you mean you couldn't? I was like, after everything that we've been through to like before we even started having sex with each other, I was like, there's no world where you raise your voice at me and I'm gonna be like, this is a turn. If you raise your voice at me, I'm gonna be concerned that like you're mad. Because I have to like politely remind you that I need you to talk a little bit louder because you almost whisper by default. I was like, so if you raise your voice, my brain immediately goes, something is amiss. There's an issue here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she was just like, well, what if I tried it? I was like, I love you to death. 10 out of 10. You're great. I'm really happy that we're together and we're doing this. You could never possibly.
Very loud, very wrong.
Yeah.
Incorrect buzzer.
Meg, why are you getting so close?
I know, Meg's like inching close.
No, I just my back's bothering me, so I just leaned weird.
Gotcha. In terms of, but to touch on the partner being rough quick again, not for me. I don't fucking like that shit. But a lot of my partners have liked it when I was rougher with them. So I can see that being a top 20. Next up, we have my partner spanking me again. No, not for me.
Huge. Love it. Huge for the team. Huge for the account.
Makes me think of when I was a child, when I was bad, and my parents would be like, so not for me. Next, my partner pulling my hair.
Oh, I love that so much. It's my favorite.
I bet.
My favorite.
Do you get like
thing.
A plunger and just
when I
stick it on there? Just to
I was literally sitting there. I was like, I wonder if this would get brought up. When I had hair, I did enjoy it, but then like once my hair started thinning, I was like, nope. I was like, I'm sorry to that kink in that part of my brain. We're never doing it again. Getting rid of all this shit. And then I had a buddy. We were drinking and I told one of my buddies about it. And he just goes, oh, just have her like yank on your armpit hair. I was like, don't ever speak to me.
I was just about to bring up.
I was like, don't ever speak to me again.
This is going to get real specific. Maybe like we'll pull on the pubes or something.
Because like I had the
maybe
thought,
not armpit hair.
I had the thought. I was like, I feel like if I can actually grow out a full beard, like maybe it would have the same effect. But yeah, then he was just like, what about your armpit? I was like, do not speak to me for the next week. Like, we're not friends anymore until I've recovered.
Because if you grow out your mustache really long,
yeah, you get like one of those ones where like
riding
you twirl
your face, she got something to fucking hold on to.
Meg's just like, what the fuck is happening?
No, I was gonna say, like, can you, like, as if you like to be dominated, can you imagine a woman just like grabbing you by your like beard and just like pulling you wherever she wants you to go? Like, I feel like that would probably,
that'd be kind of hot.
Huge for the account, boys.
If
that's what I'm saying. Grow your pubes out. Go imagine her yanking her by your pubes.
I don't like that. You're like, that doesn't feel. I don't. That's where I'm starting to check out, guys.
Anybody who shows up to the Katana Fish extravaganza in my hotel room, do not grab me by my armpit hair or my pubes, or I will pull. Like, that'll be the one thing. Like,
that'll be the load that's right.
That'll be.
I'm not gonna deny your load. I'm gonna deny your presence.
Not gonna deny the load, though.
You gotta go.
I'm just imagining, though, like, imagine
If
a
you pull my
guy,
armpit hair, we have to turn the lights on, do missionary, and you have to finish inside of me. Or I have to finish inside of you, depending on who you are.
depending on how it is.
Depending on what we're up
I'm
to and what we're dancing with here.
But listen. Imagine you're at Walmart, you're at Publix, wherever you're at, Whole Foods, and you happen to look, Meg, you happen to look down the aisle, and all you see is a guy with the longest pubes. They're like braided, so they're like going right out the pants, right? And a girl just holding them, death gripping them like a leash. And then when she's ready, she just yanks. So he's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying, and I don't want to know what you're saying, Lara.
Just double checking the male to female experience. When you like accidentally get your pubes caught on, it hurts, right? Does yours?
It's not.
Does yours not hurt? Because mine hurt when you fuck. Because like if you don't shave, a lot of them are connected directly to your testicles, and that shit hurts.
Okay, so
Welcome to
full transparency.
we gotta title this episode like Katana Fish does sex ed or something, because these conversations.
I'm titling No Loads Refused, not safe for work. But for full transparency,
Okay.
I'm not bare, but I keep it groomed.
You're a human.
I keep it groomed. And I do tweeze down there because I get a lot of ingrown hairs. So I feel like I'm just kind of used to it because I can just fucking pluck that shit out now.
My pain tolerance is a bit high because I bought a Manscaped, like one of their like lawnmower packages or whatever they're called. And like it works really nice. However, if you're not like very careful on the angle, there was one day where I was shaving and I went to take a shower and
I can't even imagine that.
But like the weird thing is like it doesn't really hurt, like unless you're like really fucking hitting yourself with it. Like it's just kind of like you finish shaving and then you're like, oh, and then you go to like freshen up a bit and you're like, that's red, that's probably not great. But like it's a weird thing where like most of the time, like I don't know if it's because of like the size of it, but like they usually like heal pretty quickly. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like occasionally like getting a little bump or something, like that's fine. But if somebody grabbed a hold of my pubes, if I let them grow out and yanked on them, I think I would cry and piss.
Listen, there's the guys that are into like getting their balls stepped on.
That's true. There's guys who are
something for everybody.
There's guys who are into a lot of like wacky stuff.
Freaky frogs in this bitch. All right, to finish out this top 20 list here. 18, we have biting. 19, we have having to be quiet or sneaky. So like they use an example
stealth.
of like not having to wake a roommate or something. Yeah. And then 20, role playing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Not for me. Don't call me anybody. Don't call me anything else except fucking Lara. Swear to God, it'll be over. Biting, I'm also not too into, but having to be sneaky, yeah, that's good shit right there. I believe we're getting close to our time here.
So wait, like you wouldn't want to role play like your partner dresses up as Blake and you dress up as Yang. You wouldn't want to just get into it. You still want to be Lara in the Yang fit.
I just want it to be Blake and Lara. Why do I have to be fucking Yang?
It's part of the experience, Lara.
If you met a woman while cosplaying as Yang and she's like, I want to fuck as Blake and Yang, like she's cosplaying as Blake and you were cosplaying as Yang, and she was like, I want to fuck Yang, and you're like, oh, you're so bad. You're bad.
If she's bad,
yeah,
she's like a 10 out of 10, then yeah, I'll do it.
And you'll put up with Yang. You'll put up with Yang.
I'll put up with Yang. I'll put up being Yang, I guess.
I guess. She was like, "Yo, look at those fucking
She'll be like, look at those
just,
guns.
yeah."
And then I'll be like, uh-huh. Like, you can look at more than just these guns, baby. I'm just gonna spit out real quick before we hop into the question here, because they have the top 10 non-sexual turn-ons.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And these ones have percentages.
Oh.
So, number 1, I feel like these kind of go. This
Are
ties
these also
into
unisex, or are these divided by male?
This one is unisex.
Okay.
This ties into our icks as well a little
Oh.
bit. Number 1, again, this is top 10 non-sexual turn-ons. Number 1, smelling good, 69%.
Huge.
69.
Hell yeah. Number 2, being affectionate at 64. Number 3, making me feel appreciated at 61%. I feel like that should be higher. Not gonna lie.
Well, you got the people who are into the opposite, where it's like,
Yeah.
Being degraded or
Yeah.
whatever. That's true. That's true.
fucking
Number 4,
ruining the metrics, boys.
on God, be normal.
Jesus. Not a very
Number 4,
positive
we have-
viewpoint.
I kink shame for real. I don't give a
Oh
fuck.
yeah, that's right. I forgot we've talked about this before, and people are like, don't.
I
kink
in
shame.
fact kink shame.
And Laura's like, my kink is kink shaming.
I will kink shame you. If you're into some weird shit, I'm kink shaming you. Sorry. Not sorry, actually. Fuck you.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Number
So
4,
aggressive.
dressing nice at 46%.
It's one of those things where like I always forget about it, and then somebody invites me to their wedding, and I put on like the tux, and I'm like, I'd fuck me for sure.
It's also similar. I kind of dress like I'm going to the gym every single fucking day, and so when I actually put forth effort, I'm like, oh, I look kind of fucking
I don't
good.
think I've ever actually asked Laura, because I know like Meg prefers like the pants and button ups. Are you a dress girly, or are you also a pants and?
I am a pants and button up,
Okay.
but I don't know if I would ever do like a full tuxedo or
Right.
whatever though.
I'm gonna don't buy one, but if you ever have an event and a reason to, I highly recommend just even having it on for like an hour. You feel powerful. When you button that tuxedo and you adjust your tie, oh, the world's yours. Immediately become a cartoon villain. What are we doing today?
okay.
What are we scheming?
Like Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
So number 5, intelligence at 45%.
Hey,
Kind of got to agree a little bit.
yeah.
You can be silly, but just don't be dumb.
I was really surprised when a friend told me that their type was like basically like the dumb bimbo type, like just like stereotypical.
Oh yeah, it's
dumb
an entire
bimbo.
it's an actual
That was, like, a
classification of
thing.
like sexuality, where like you only are attracted to people dumber than you.
Not me. I tried dating somebody that's stupider than me. Fucking hated every second of
Oh, I
it.
bet.
Let me look it up real quick. Attraction to dumber people. It is called morosexual.
Because you're attracted to morons.
Yep, you are attracted to morons.
That's actually really funny.
Somebody I saw like a meme one time, and this guy was just like, dude, my girlfriend's so hot, like I don't know why she settled for me. Like he goes off on like this long thing of like things that he does, and somebody just goes, hey OP, your girlfriend might be a morosexual. And he goes, yeah, we have sex all the time. And then he like pauses, and there's a follow-up reply that goes, that wasn't very nice.
Number 6, confidence, 43%. I
Makes
feel like
sense.
everybody can agree.
Yeah.
Number 7, generosity at 39%, which again, can't agree. Number 8, active listening, 39%.
Huge.
9, Collin, I know you can relate to this one, playing with my hair, 34%.
Huge. It's huge for the account, huge for the team.
Especially back when you had hair, I'm
Yeah,
sure that
dude.
was huge.
I would fall asleep in somebody's lap if they started playing with my hair. So cozy.
Mm-hmm. Number 10, Being taller than me, 28%.
Okay, so I have an interesting thing for this.
Okay.
So in like when I lived in New York, every girl I ever like dated was way shorter than me. I came down to Florida. I've seen so many tall girls, and every time like I have to stop myself from just like fucking mouth drop, just like watching them walk by, because it's just like my brain always is just like, what a woman.
I'm imagining you like the cartoon dog, like the
Yeah.
eyes going big.
Just
Do you think
fucking
it's because you're closer to the equator, thus the gravity? They're like
see like that's the
pulling the
weird thing. Like I
bones.
don't know what causes it, but like up in New York, being 6 foot, like you're usually tall. Down in Florida, like being 6 foot, I'm average.
Average.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so like yeah, like I look around like there's all these tall women and I was like I just want one of you to like look down and be like, "Do you want me to pick you up?" And then I'll cry and I'll finally be able to die knowing my life is completed.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I need a big strong woman to give me uppies and then it's over.
Actually, I popped a bone out of my foot once, and there was a woman at my school who was like 6'4" or something, and she just ran onto the fucking field and like picked me up, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is happening. But with that, now that we rounded that out, we can transition into the question. Anybody got one today?
Yeah, I've got one that ironically I've thought of this one and I was like, oh, like maybe it'll work. And I'm so glad that we did this because I've just been, like I said, this is my cringe episode equivalent for what Meg went through, where it's just like all my business is out there on the internet now. They can have it. So the question that I brought is, what's something that you found very uncomfortable, but you feel everyone should have to experience at least once?
Something I found very uncomfortable, but everybody has to experience. That's a tough one. That's hard. I feel like the easy answer is like, this can sound mean, but like being bullied. I feel like it already kind of is a universal experience a little bit, but I do feel like, obviously not to an extent of like driving you to kill yourself, but
Right.
just like a little public humiliation, a little bit, as uncomfortable and as egregious as it can be, it, character development.
It's one of the
It can
things.
help.
It's one of those things where like it's the easiest way as a kid to find out like what the world is really going to be like. But like you
Right.
said, like obviously we don't want to be doing it to the point where like somebody's just like not around anymore because like that's nuts. But like everybody just needs to have that experience. Like, hey, not everybody you meet's gonna be your friend. You just gotta
Right.
be aware. And it's the same thing with like when a lot of like coaches and stuff are like, you can't coach kids these days because their parents just come down and yell at you, or like they just spoiled their kid the whole time. So whenever you tell the kid they're doing something wrong, they just like freak out and start screaming at you. And I was like, that's another thing. Like,
Which is a very real experience, and that's why I'm saying like kind
yeah,
of getting that, again, like humiliation, whether it's a team or in public or even just like you and one other person.
so I guess the one
It
that I was gonna think of
Character
was like
development.
almost right. The one that I was gonna think of, I guess, since you brought that up, I'll go and then we'll save Meg's for the big finale. You have to like experience just being bad at something and having people point out that you're bad at something. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't go through your whole life with everybody just going, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." Like you should just keep at it. Like you have to have somebody be like, "Hey, bro, not for you. Do
That was
something
shit.
else." Like that's
Yeah,
ass. Try a different
you
thing.
have to. You have to. You can't. Nobody can be good at everything.
Right.
It's just impossible. And having somebody tell you, "Hey, this is ass, and you
Yeah.
should never do it again." Again, character development.
Right.
It could push you towards what you're good at, what you like,
Just be careful
and
saying
improve
it
upon that.
to people who are in art school. Sorry. Anyway, Meg, what's your
All right, Meg, what's yours? Something uncomfortable that you think everybody should experience at least once.
I kind of went very opposite to you guys in that the ideal is that it's to make you comfortable and to give you a boost in confidence and comfortability. And it was like public speaking, like positive public
Mm,
speaking. I took a public speaking course in school, and
same.
because the situation, so I kind of went very opposite. Instead of having a situation that made you uncomfortable and brought you down, it was an uncomfortable situation that can bring you up.
Mm-hmm. That I will say that did hop into my mind first was public speaking, and then I was like, but that's like a mandatory college course. Like I don't want to say
Not if you
most
go not
people,
if you go to
but
trade school. If you go to trade school,
right, of
they
course.
don't want you to talk to anybody.
As a matter of fact, they discourage it. They put duct tape over your mouth in every single class.
Like the number of times like like our teacher would just be like, "Hey, we've got like so and so from the dean's office coming through today," and he'd be like, "So don't fucking speak unless they ask you a question." And if they do ask you a question, and he looked at one of the people in my class and goes, "Remember that you're speaking to somebody from the administration office."
I feel like that says more about who goes to trade school than trade school itself.
I'm not gonna say his name. If he happens to somehow catch wind of this, I don't think we're friends on Facebook anymore. But if he happens to catch wind of this, there was one guy in my class, my first degree. So I went to Alfred State for 3 years. I had 2 years for the construction program and then 1 year for the masonry program because they were connected as freshmen, and then you split off to be a senior carpenter or a senior mason.
Mm.
There was a kid who would not have graduated if I did not let him cheat off of every test that we took. But when you put him in the lab and put like the tools in his hand, he's a fucking genius. As soon as you put a pen and paper in front of him, boy's IQ dropped to single digits. But like I knew, like I'd seen him in the lab before, like I knew he knew what he was doing. He just was bad at like the regurgitating information for this. So I would always tell him, like, after the first time it happened, I was just like, just sit next to me. And I was like, I'll let you copy all my tests. He's like, you have to like change I basically coached him on how to cheat off of somebody's test. And then I let him cheat off of every test we took all through college.
Good for you.
And in
And
exchange,
good for him.
he fixed a bunch of shit that I fucked up when we were in the lab working with tools and shit.
Hell yeah, scratch my back.
Yeah.
I'll scratch yours.
But yeah, so it's just, yeah, trade school is definitely, it's a very mixed bag. Like there was, it wasn't part of the trade school, but back when I was in high school in BOCES, they had a girl in heavy equipment who looked like the thing that you imagine when you hear the phrase "a girl in heavy equipment."
And heavy equipment, yeah.
And then they had a girl in cosmetology, and they were fighting over the same boy. And apparently, the girl in heavy equipment was already dating him, and the girl in Cosmo slept with him. So the girl in heavy equipment punched her and like got her to like to fall down, and then grabbed her by the ankle and dragged her down a flight of stairs, bouncing her like chin and face off of the steps. And I asked my buddy, because he told me about it, I was like, did you do anything to stop her? And he goes, no, she'd fucking kick my ass too. What are you talking about?
And I bet after that, the girl in cosmetology then looked like a girl that would be in heavy equipment. On that note, what are we keeping it, guys?
I was gonna say something about, I was trying to reference the no load denied, and I was gonna like keep it, but I couldn't think of a good one.
Keep it acceptable.
Sure.
Keep it wide open.
I was gonna say keep it open and ready.
keep it like Little Caesars, hot and ready, baby.
Keep it loose and limber.
Hell yeah. I like all these options. I think they're all fantastic.